A reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Romans, just that first line. Brothers and sisters, the Spirit comes to the aid of our weakness, for we don't know how to pray as we ought. The Spirit is always there. Don't be afraid to hope for the Spirit. I can tell you exactly when this happened. It was last Wednesday. Before I left to come work here at Catholic TV, I looked in my refrigerator in the rectory that I live in, and I didn't have any milk, which caused me to look around for a few other things and realized that I hadn't gone food shopping in quite a while. So I knew that when I was done here, I would throw my briefcase in the trunk of my car and stop at the grocery store, which I pass on the way home, which is exactly what I did. Got a little grocery shopping done, and finally, about an hour later, got home. Opened the back of my car, and there was my briefcase and 3 bags of groceries. And you know, I don't know whether it's because I'm a little lazy and didn't want to make too many trips, or do I like to prove to myself that I am strong and I can carry a lot of things? I decided that I would go for trying to get everything in all at the same time. I didn't want to run up and down the stairs. And so I did this kind of very scientifically. I knew the importance of balance. So I took my briefcase first and slung it over my shoulder. I brought the 3 bags together very carefully, knowing that if I could support the 2 in the end, I could keep the one in the middle and get all 3 upstairs. Did it, left the car, went upstairs. Got to the door. It was great. I actually was able, believe it or not, to get the key out, put it in the door. I kicked the door open. I got inside. Almost. I couldn't get through the door. I couldn't get through the door because the door might have been this wide, but carrying all the bundles, I ended up being this wide. I couldn't get through the door. I knew I had Mass this day with all of you. And I was amazed that the Lord had given me the gift of this gospel. People wondering what will happen at the end. Will many people be saved? Will many people get into heaven? And Jesus, being the genius that he was and is, once again doesn't quite answer the question. He backs up and tells them, don't worry how many people will be there. Worry about yourself. And if you want to make sure you're there, enter through the narrow gate. What does that really mean? Well, you get a picture of a barn, and we all know that even back then, barns had 2 big doors because they would have to let in animals and equipment. To this day, barns have 2 big doors because they have to get in tractors and farm stuff. But usually, if you look closely enough, many barns have another door in the door. And it's kind of a human-sized door. It's a narrower door. They don't always open the big wide ones if they don't have to. If the farmer or any of the workers are just going in and out, they go through the smaller door, the narrow door. And you can't be carrying too much stuff to get through that door. Jesus is that door. And he invites us to live with such trust in him, such hope in his presence in our lives, that we're willing to let go, put down bags of obstacles, angers, hurt, pain, fear, anxiety, prejudice, all of the things that we human beings can sometimes carry, and we might not even know that we're carrying them. He invites us to let go, to walk through that narrow door like him. You know, I think it's very interesting that, again, going back to the barn and the image, that door is the everyday door. Not all the time do those big doors get opened, but every day farmers and workers go through that door. It's the everyday door. Jesus is there for us in our everyday life. That's part of the understanding of the narrow gate, the narrow door. There is nothing that you're facing right now that Jesus is not aware of and is willing to help you with. That's what we need to bring to prayer. Paul reminding us that sometimes we can be so blinded by the worries that we're praying about that we can't see him standing right there in the middle of the worry, the pain, the fear, the chaos with us. My friends, today we are reminded of the presence of our God, the Spirit who helps us pray, Jesus who is always there beckoning us forth, and the Father who each and every day showers us with presence and power, grace and love.